Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am tawanna reshun, and today we're going to have something very nice, very juicy. It is a story time, and yeah, so we have a lot of different stories that we have in our life, and I feel like I have a lot of different stories that I have in my life, and I want to just open up and talk to you guys about it. So I'm not going to talk too much. I really just want to get into it, but particularly this story time is going to be about the relationship with my sisters and I. You know, I'm the youngest. I have three other sisters. We have different mothers, but the same father. And this story time is about when I actually got in a fight with my sister. So yeah, so my oldest sister, and so actually what happened was, this was a while back. I would say back in 2012. Yeah, maybe 2011, 2012, somewhere off in there. I know I had just finished college in 2011, so it could have been 2012, 2013. However, it was kind of crazy the way it happened. And you know, the way it happened was, well, let me just back up. Our relationship has been strained for the longest, ever since I was young. I've always felt like the outcast. With my siblings, I have a brother, an older brother as well. I'm the youngest. My father and all has 5 kids biologically, but he do claim their siblings on their mom's side. But biological, my dad has 4 girls, including me, and I'm the youngest, and one son, which is my brother. We have the same mom and dad. And my brother and myself is the youngest out of the 3 and oldest girls. And so pretty much me and my brother was raised together, and my other sisters, they was raised with their mom, but we known each other. When my dad had us, he made sure, you know, we was all together and things like that. But there's a big age difference. My oldest sister is, I believe she is 42 or 43, something like that, or 44, I'm not sure, but she's in her 40s, and it's stir still. So, and I'm 34. So yeah, so there's an age difference, and so I think that's kind of why. But I've always wanted to, you know, have that sisterly bond growing up. But however, that did not happen. Growing up, but now the relationship is getting better. I will say it's getting better, but it still seems a little strained, in a way. But it's better than ever. So but I'm sure there's room for improvement. Yeah, so I mean, we're all grown. We all got our own relationships, and our own life and family. So, you know, life goes on, and it is what it is. But however, the way this happened, when this fight happened, so I want to say my dad was asked to come to our house in some way. I don't know how it happened, but okay, so my cousin was at my house, and I was getting ready for work, and my dad or something like that, I was riding with my cousin. I believe my cousin was taking me to work that day. I was working at a call center, and yeah, so she was taking me to work one day, and I rode with her to take my dad to my sister's house because she asked to see if she could get a ride. So she didn't know that I was in the car with my cousin and my dad to take him to my sister's house. I believe that's what happened. And so I was actually in the car, and however, she didn't know that I was in the car with my cousin. So she didn't want, for some reason, she didn't come pick him up to bring him to her house to do something for her. So we rode up with my cousin and my dad, and so she had, you know, a little attitude or whatever. I think she was upset with my father for bringing us to, well, I think it was really with me, because how else would he get there, if he had no other way. So yeah, with bringing me to her house, and I didn't do anything to her. I was just in the car. I was a passenger. So what happened was she got upset with my dad, and I got into it because it's my dad. You're not just gonna talk to me in the kind of way you wanted him to come. So if I could remember, and it was a lot of talking, a lot of back and forth, and then she said something, and then I said something, and then I remember she said, "Dad, and I said, ain't nobody worried about your little period on the house," because the way her house is made is kind of made kind of old school, and it's an old school house or whatever, two-story house, but I said, ain't nobody worried about your little house on a period house. So she got upset. She was like, "Daddy, you telling my business, you telling my business." So my dad was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, we just going back and forth. And so when I actually found that after the fight, well, during it, she said, "You telling my daddy you telling people my business." And so when I found out, I didn't know what she was talking about, but ended up finding out that she was talking about because Section 8, and I believe at the time she was on Section 8 or something like that. So I don't know, if she bought it from Section 8, I don't know, or whatever, but I think that's what she was getting upset about. She said that, she thought I said, "Ain't nobody worried about your Section 8 house." And why would I say it? Because I didn't know nothing about that. I said your little house on a period house, because if you remember the TV show, the little house on a period with the big poles, that's the way it looked. So, and that's the way it looked. I said, because I'm like, you being all extra, and we was just bringing dad over here, and you can't help because I'm in the car. Like, what are you being upset at me about? Like, we all know. Well, I didn't think it would be a big problem, and you can't stop somebody from being in somebody else's car. It's not your car. And I wasn't doing anything. I didn't say, I wasn't being disrespectful to you or nothing like that. You just have a problem with me, you know what I'm saying? And that's, and enough was enough. And so when I was standing up for myself, and I was standing up for dad, you know what I'm saying, it ended up to where she did something and she swung, or she missed, but she ended up scratching me. And it was like tugging or whatever. She was trying to get at me in the car or whatever, but she couldn't really do nothing, but she just scratched me or whatever in my face. But that was about all. It wasn't a big fight. She tried to do something, but she really couldn't get to me like that. And it was just kind of like tussling or whatever. And yeah, so the relationship has been strained for a long time. It really hasn't been a relationship there, growing up, and that's something that I still deal with today. Well, not as much today, but I move home because I'm 34 years old. But growing up, it was a issue for me, because I longed for that relationship with my three sisters. I have three of them, and it's not what typically that you want a relationship with your sisters to be. But me finding out God has blessed me with cousins growing up that would be more like sisters. So I was thankful for that, and God put that in place. But yeah, it was just like that, I'm guessing, because we had two different moms or whatever like that. And it's just, I believe that the parents should make sure that the kids stick together. So I know a lot of things wasn't just on them. A lot of things was because of how they was raised, and how they either their mom, I'm not just gonna say their mom, somebody in their life, train them, I don't know, well, teaching them to be or whatever. So I will say that. But it has gotten better. Like, we are on better speaking terms now. When we see each other, we talk, whatever, and we made decisions to try to do better. But I would be lying if I would say you know, I still feel like a distance. So when we see each other, it still feel like it don't seem sin it don't seem, you know, like you would feel, you know what I'm saying, with your siblings, you know what I'm saying? So but you move on. You just move forward, and after that fight or whatever, of course, Tom just healed or whatever. And that was years ago. That wasn't recent. That was like, you know, there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of cause she was mad at daddy for bringing me there. And, you know, I was like, really? You know what I'm saying? We got the same daddy. I don't care if we don't got the same mom, we got the same daddy. And, you know, and it to me is really on the parents to make sure that that don't happen. I feel like a lot of times my daddy should have spoken up more as a father, and a lot of things wouldn't have went as far as that. And I'm not saying that he didn't, but I wish he'd done a little bit more to make them realize, like, this is your sister, like, you're not gonna do that. And, you know, so a lot of times when things happen now in our life, when events happen or birthday parties or things, a lot of times, you know, I'm excluded. My brother's excluded. My brother is actually, he don't live here in Texas anymore. He live in another state. He live in LA now. So I mean, even when he was here, we was really excluded from a lot of stuff. You know, birthdays, I have a lot of nieces and nephews. You know, so it's like, if you really care, you'll include us because we are still your blood. The father holds the gene. And I wouldn't really say it's on our part, you know, because you have to make this step, you know what I'm saying, if you want us to be in your life like that. So, and it's just been like that. So what I've learned to do is just move on with my life, because this is my life. It's not going to stop the show. It's not going to stop my growth. It's not, I'm not going to allow it to. And God has blessed me with friends and family that love me just like a sister would, and I'm blessed for that. So I've learned to just take the eggs that God has gave me and make an egg sandwich, okay? And I mean, take the lemons that God give me and make lemonade, however you want to put it. So you know, that taught me a lot of lessons, and I'm still learning for today. Sometimes I do wish, you know, when I was younger, okay, I wish I would have had, growing up in school, had a sister that I could talk to and lean on with all that. But I, you know, I try not to think about it. I try to think about the good times, and I try to think about the people that God did put in my corner to have, to be there for me. And he have family members, friends, and sometimes I'm learning that it's not about the blood. Sometimes people that are just your friends that God put upon you can be way thicker than somebody that's your blood. So I've learned that, you know, and I done been through a lot in my life with being diagnosed with ciff and pulmonary hypertension, being diagnosed with all these different diseases, not diseases, but illnesses in my life, and really seeing who's there for me, who has been there for me. It really showed me who loves me, and I'm thankful for the people who have been in my corner in those times, and to be very thankful for those people, and not be stuck on people who've not been in my corner, because you know, God is going to give you those people who truly is going to be there for you in your time of need. And that's one thing I'm learning day to day, to not look at those things that you don't have, look at the things that you do have, and be thankful for those things. So yeah, I mean, even though that happened, the incident happened, it taught me, you know, the devil is busy. You know, for some reason, it might not even be her problem. It might be something that she going through, they want to be spiteful. I don't know why, because all I asked for was love from a sister, and I didn't get it, but that's fine. And if whatever type of relationship that we have now, I take that for what it is. And you know, but I'm still trying to have the discernment, because you know, I don't want to entertain the devil. I don't want to entertain somebody who's not being genuine with me. And so that's what I mean by that. Like, I don't want to entertain somebody who's not really wanting to be there in my corner of need. Somebody that want to be talking behind me, behind my back, or not really there for me, or trying to see my downfall. Yeah, so you have to really watch out for people like that, you know. And so, and I know me, I have such a forgiving heart, forgiving spirit, and you know, and sometimes they can be the fall of me, because I am so forgiving at times. And so I'm trying to learn to just have discernment for those type of things, or for those type of people. So yeah, yeah, that's my story time. The time I had to fight with my sister, I was so mean. That was my oldest sister too. So yeah, yeah, it didn't faze me. It didn't stop my shine. You know, it happened, but I moved on, and it is what it is. Your girl's still cute. Your girl still, you don't see no scratches on. You know, it didn't affect me. So yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, so I have a lot of other story times as well, so y'all look out for those. I'm just trying to, you know, find my way in this channel. And thank y'all for rocking with your girl. I am tawanna reshun, and I love y'all, and thank y'all for just tuning in. So I'll see y'all next time on my channel. All right, bye.